Yeah, we also have solving by substitution. Okay, so when I solve by substitution, the first thing I got to do is find a variable easy to solve for and do it, obviously, and solve for it. So if I look at those two equations, which of those variables is easiest to solve for? Why?
I mean, yeah, why?
Do you agree, Tanner?
No, the top one actually.
Top equation?
Yeah. Did you actually keep my chickens out?
Here's what I think. I think x is easiest to solve for because if I add y to each side, x will be by itself, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I have x equals now 13 plus y, right? So what I have to do here is now, Brianne, put the phone down. Plug this entire quantity back in to my other equation in for x. So this has to go into the other equation for x right there. All right. Plug in the variable you solved for. Into the other equation. Okay, so this is now essentially x. 13 plus y represents x. Does that make sense? Okay, so I have to plug in x first. So it's going into this top equation for x. Plug it into the other equation. So I have 4 times the quantity I solved for right here. So I have 13 plus y, because that is the same as x. And now I have to finish out the rest of that equation, equals 10. So if I look at that top one, I still have 4x, because these two represent x, plus 2y equals 10. Do I still have you? Yeah. Okay. Now, you've got to solve for y, or solve for the variable you have. I should say solve for the remaining variable. Because do you notice now how in this equation, I only have one variable? I only have y's. Okay, so right here I'd have to distribute, remember that? So 4 times 13 would be 52. And 4 times y would be positive 4y. All right, I still have my 2y. And when you're doing this, show every step. If you try and do it in your head, you're going to make mistakes. Until you're really good at it, you will make mistakes, okay? If you don't, show your work. All right, so my 4y and my 2y combine, right, to make 6y. All right, my 10's still on the other side, and I still have the 52 over here. Okay, so what now?
Now we have to.
I still got to solve for y, right?
We have to divide the 6.
What do you do first? Divide or move the 52?
No, you move the 52.
So I'd have to subtract 52.
It would be negative 42.
And it would be negative 42 over here.
And then divide by 6 and it would be negative 7.
Divide by 6, and y is indeed negative 7. Okay, so here's where you're not done yet. See how we only have one of those variables?
I need to plug y into the x.
Yep, I got to plug that in so we can find x.
Then it's 13 plus negative 7.
So plug in
Are we putting this in our toolkit today?
the value for the variable you solve for. Not yet.
Do you guys still get to use toolkits? I think that's
They had read that.
Into one of your equations. And yeah, you can use toolkits, just depends. It's instructor opinion, okay? So it depends on what we're assessing over. All right, so I plug in -7. Now, would it help me if I plugged it into this equation? Or would it be easier with one of these two? What do you think?
Wait, that's what I mean.
So I'm having to plug in -7 into one of these equations so I can solve for x.
You would do it in the bottom one.
Yeah.
With the X instead of the
Yeah,
four.
because then it'll just be negative 7. Yeah.
Y equals 13 plus y, which is -7. And that will end up being,
Add 13 to both sides.
oh, what's 13 plus -7?
Subtract.
You're making this more complicated.
No, that's on the same side.
What is 13 plus -7?
That'd be
6.
It would be 6.
Yeah.
Actually,
Mm-hmm. Now we have to express our solution
No, don't we have to write it in an equation?
as an ordered pair.
negative 6, 7. Or negative
Positive
6.
6. Positive 6, 7. Remember how it goes x, y?
Okay.
Positive 6, -7.
Okay.
And now, you can check your answer. And I would almost suggest it. All right, I would suggest it. You should check your answer by plugging in your solution into your original equations. Okay, so let's see. My top one, I have 4 times x, which is 6, plus 2, and I have my y value, which is -7. And let's see if that equals 10.
So negative 14.
So 24 plus -14, I believe that's 10.
It is.
Okay, so now I have x minus y, right? So 6 minus -7, is that 13? Yeah, because those two negatives become a positive. And we're all done. And I promise you, it will not take that long when you're used to this, okay?